I got a few minutes to spare, so thought I'll talk about something that I seen today, and I didn't even want to see this stuff. I don't know why people be sending me this stuff, but I felt the need to respond because now individual is doing like what a lot of dudes are starting to do now. Now it's starting to get thick. Now it's starting to get tight. The tension is starting to get tight. The swagger is starting, and the confidence is starting to get a little. Oh man, the confidence is slowly evaporating as we get closer to July 29th. So now all of a sudden, when it looked like this fight wasn't gonna happen, you had people saying that Bud is this, he that, and he's scared, and Aerosmith is gonna blow through Terrence Crawford. And now that Terrence Crawford is a slight betting favorite, now all of a sudden people's tune have changed. You don't see all this confidence now. Now you got people having legit breakdowns of the fight. Now all of a sudden these goofy dudes that was making video after video about how Errol Spence is gonna blow through Terrence Crawford, now all of a sudden where those videos at now? And then you got people that stopped speaking to people because they were fans of Terrence Crawford. I just want to say this: keep it that way. Since you ain't speaking to me now, don't speak to me after the fight is over. If in fact Errol Spence turns out to be the winner, because you showing fake confidence. Now all of a sudden people ain't talking all that stuff they was talking now, because they know that this is a 50-50 fight, and they know Terrence Crawford got just as much chance as winning this fight as Errol Spence. The same way Terrence Crawford can be stopped, Errol Spence can be stopped. So now all of a sudden people's tune have changed, and that's why, like I said, I had to distance myself from a bunch of fake ass niggas who got little attitudes like some girls, because people was interviewing people from Team Crawford, or people show support for Team Crawford. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this again: I don't answer to nobody, man, and ain't nobody gonna tell me who to talk to and who to interview and no stuff like that, bro. If you got a problem with me doing interviews with Camp Crawford or people that's affiliated with Terrence Crawford, that's your problem. And that just shows how goofy you are. But like I said, I just want to say to the dudes that stopped talking to me, I'm glad you stopped talking to me, because you wasn't cool with me to begin with. You wasn't a real friend to begin with. If you want to stop talking to people because you are Errol Spence butt boy. But like I said before, now all of a sudden, you seeing little less confidence. Where did all that bravado go? Now that the fight actually got made, now everybody getting all quiet. And I just want to say something about, Right Said Fred, aka Barber Bitch Conversation, who was the catalyst and basically dividing the black community, him and a couple of other goofy niggas, a few other people. I don't know what it is with some of these bald-headed niggas that be on YouTube. I don't know. Just because you bald-head don't mean you tough or somebody supposed to be scared of you. Like I said, I ain't scared of none of you niggas on here. I'm always at fights. I don't be worried about nobody. But like I said, Fred was the main catalyst who had all this confidence that Aerosmith was gonna tear Bud apart, and then this cornball put out a video talking about, if Aerosmith leaves, it's all Al Heyman's fault. What a bitch. Fred is truly a mental midget. He has black man complex, he has short complex, he has every type of complex, but he tries to pretend by talking the shit that he talks on this channel. But I know what a fraud Fred is. I really do. Fred is the biggest fraud out there. Biggest bitch out there. He talked all that stuff and was saying stuff and making threats towards me behind my back. But when his bitch ass saw me at Devin Haney versus Lenore's, when he was talking about he was gonna sock me and all this shit, the nigga didn't do shit when he saw me. And I looked that pussy ass nigga right in his face, and he didn't do shit. So, like I said before, Fred is one of the biggest frauds out there. Now all of a sudden he changed. Now all of a sudden he copping a plea. This man said all this derogatory stuff and disrespectful stuff towards Terrence Crawford. Now all of a sudden, it's Al Heyman's fault if Aerosmith. Nah, man. You were saying Aerosmith was gonna destroy Terrence Crawford. He was gonna dominate him. Nah, man, you gotta say, nah, man, you gotta live by the words. Don't try to make excuses now. But that's what's gonna happen if Errol Spence loses to Terrence Crawford. See, the thing about me, my channel wasn't predicated and hanging on the balance of Errol Spence winning this fight, because at the end of the day, I had no horse in the race. I was like, may the best man win. We still made the best man win. But like I said before, I almost got caught up in this stuff. The way these people were treating Terrence Crawford, saying personal stuff about them, about Team Crawford and all this kind of stuff. They talked about, they called Errol Spence a drunk. Yeah, but didn't Team Spence call Terrence Crawford a slave and Uncle Tom and all that stuff in the house, nigga? For dealing with Bob Aaron, but then again, he fights in the stadium of, a white supremacist and Jerry Jones, who basically went to a Jim Crow rally, and you still ain't heard Errol Spence address that. Ain't said nothing. So I don't want to hear all that super pro-black stuff with Errol Spence, and then he's sitting up here trying to act like he called out the sanctioning bodies about fees and stuff and where the money was going. Everybody trying to give Errol Spence credit. That came from Andre Ward, the dude from Oakland. Us Bay Area people, we always come with a lot of give people a lot of game, but we don't get credit for it, and we don't want the credit. But yet you got people trying to basically give Errol Spence credit for something that was already said and been said, and that's just how goofy some of his fans are. So like I said before, Fred, don't try to cop a plea now, bro. Don't try to change your tune. Don't try to soften it up. Don't try to make excuses, because I promise you, if Errol Spence win, they gonna say they don't want to hear no excuses. Well, you could clearly make an argument that they basically aged Terrence Crawford out. You could make that excuse, but whoever wins, wins. So I'm just saying, where all that swag go now? Like I said, Fred is just weak. When I say Fred is weak, Fred is weak. That's just how Fred is. He copping a plea because he getting nervous. He's shaking in his boots. Now, if in fact Errol Spence happens to win, then all of a sudden you're gonna see these niggas talking about I told you. Nah, don't get quiet now. You notice who these dudes is. Where all these videos, where all these segments, where all these panels talking about how Errol Spence is gonna blow through Terrence Crawford. See, as long as this fight didn't get made, they could put those narratives out. But once the fight got actually made and became official, then all of a sudden people started to backtrack. Nah, don't backtrack now. Don't backtrack now. And you know who these dudes are. So tell them, don't backtrack now. You got to stand on what you say, man. You got to stand on that. You got to stand on that, man. You can't be sitting up getting quiet and trying to make, I blame Al Heyman for this. Like I said, Fred is a bitch. He a straight up bitch. He, like I said, that dude is, I mean, for real, that dude is delusional and now trying to change his tune and stuff. And the thing is with Fred, he tried to think he the smartest dude in the room when Fred is what you call a dumb smart guy. For real. So I'm just saying, you be talking all this stuff. You be talking all this stuff like you just so caked out, like you could just go and buy yourself a professional franchise and shit. Well, how come behind the scenes when you got demonetized, you was crying about it since you so rich, since you a multi-millionaire? Yo, YouTube money shouldn't mean nothing, right? So like I said before, man, I'm just keeping it a buck. These dudes need to stand on this stuff. Like I said, don't change your tune now. And I just want to say to all the dudes, I just want to say now, all the dudes, don't backtrack now, man. Stand by your dude. Stand by your dude. Stand by your dudes. Don't come out of hiding if Errol Spence wins this fight. Now you gotta say Errol Spence is gonna mollywop Terrence Crawford. I ain't talking about the trolls. I'm talking about all these dudes that was talking about Terrence Crawford was scared and he wasn't gonna ever make the fight and all this kind of stuff. So basically what Fred is trying to do, he trying to give people an opening. He trying to give people an angle just in case Terrence Crawford wins the fight. Oh, blame Al Heyman. All of a sudden, The only reason why Fred don't like Al Heyman no more because Al Heyman won't let his ass in fights, and Al Heyman been telling a lot of his guys not to talk to Fred. That's the only reason why Fred is angry with Al Heyman. If Fred was still getting credentials, yeah, all of a sudden Fred trying to, and this is what type of bitch he is. Now all of a sudden he trying to downplay and trying to basically put down black media who want to cover fights because his punk ass can't cover fights no more. Like I said, dude, you did it to yourself, punk. You did it to yourself. So because your black ass can't get in there, now you trying to downplay and shame the other good brothers that's out there doing good work. And then at the same time, you tried to get my credentials taken away because you was mad because you couldn't get up in there. And that's the only reason why he talking that shit, because they won't let his black ass back up in there. Like I said, Fred is a fraud. You're a fraud, Fred. You really are. Like I said, nigga, don't change your tune now, bro. Stand on that shit. Stand on that shit. If Terrence Crawford beats Aerosmith, nah, you gotta keep saying, stand by what you said. You said the arrow was gonna blow through Terrence Crawford, so stand by that, bro. It's the long layoff. It's the Remember, Aerosmith was the one that said he don't need no tune-up fight, so we don't want to hear that from Aerosmith neither. He said I don't need no tune-up, so you gotta stand by that. Anyway, you guys, we'll continue this later on. I just wanted to give you a preview